I'm going to give you value and you're going to pay me. I look at making my clients' life easier. Hi there. Thanks for checking out Cruncy Cleaning by Kathy. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you're here to see the video. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I like to quote cleaning jobs. So I know some cleaning businesses tend to quote hourly. I prefer to quote a flat rate. When quoting with a flat rate, you actually end up making more money because you're not, quote unquote, milking the clock and trying to add on an extra hour to make an extra $25, $30, $40 an hour. You're trying to actually work a little bit faster and more efficient so that you can make more money. Not just that, the longer you were at this client's house lengthwise, meaning if it's been several months or several years, it's not going to take you as long to clean it as it did the first time. So then why should you make less money because you're there less time, but you're still providing the same great service? So with a flat rate, whether you're there for 2 or 3 hours, you're still making a good profit. So the calculation that I've used for the last several years is based on my area of the Poconos, Pennsylvania. It's based on my local state tax, my federal tax, how much I want to make an hour, what my expenses are, what the gas mileage is around here, what the average income is, just a lot of factors that I have to take into account on how I'm going to charge my flat rate. Now I charge per square footage. So for example, the initial deep clean, I charge 16 cents per square footage. So don't just take my 16 cents and think that it may work in your area. It may not, or it may, but I want to show you how I give the quote based on the flat rate. So if a client tells me on our first conversation they have an 1,800 square foot home, minus the garage and maybe minus this room. But anyway, the number is 1,800 square feet. Let's go with that. 1,800 square feet times 0.16 is $288. What I'm going to do is I do a low end and a high end. So out of that 288, I'll say in my mind, 250 to 300, or maybe even 320. All depends on how far they are. If they have several shedding dogs or no animals, all those little things I'll factor in during our initial conversation. And I will tell the client, okay, your initial deep clean estimate, because it's an estimate, it's not set in stone, will be between 250 to 320, and that includes taxes, insurance, and supplies. I specifically want them to know that so that they know I'm bringing the supplies, I'm insured, I run a legitimate business, I pay taxes. I give them that price range, 250 to 320. They've budgeted up to 320. 250 to 320, they've budgeted up to. If it tends to be a home that's going to take me a little bit more than 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, I've told them up to 320. So then if I tell them $300, they're not going to have a sticker shock because they're already budgeted up to 320. I do have in my terms and conditions that if the house is in crisis mode and it needs more time than I think I can provide, then we'll have to discuss it. But that's why, again, I try to do a low to high end. So for an example, a house that's 2,400 square feet, 2,400 square feet, for the initial deep clean times 16 would be $384. I would quote them $350 to $420, a $70 or $80 difference to maybe add, to maybe compensate for an extra hour and a half or 2 hours. So I would quote them $350 to $420. It's a larger home. It'll take a little bit longer. A 3,000 square foot home times 16 cents, $480. So I would quote them $450 to $520. That's how I like to do a low and a high end because it gives me a cushion of, wow, this is not going to take me a long time, but I'm still going to manage to make 50, 60, 70 bucks an hour and do really great work. Or it'll take me a few more hours, but at least they're budgeted up to a higher amount. And they're going to see the quality that I'm going to perform. And then when it becomes a recurring client, as I'm cleaning the house in my mind, or, I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to charge them? I look at my screenshot of what I quoted them. I said, okay, I quoted them 250 to 320. Okay, I'm halfway done. I'll be done shortly. They're really nice. They want routine cleaning. They're close. All right, I'll charge them $300. Boom. Now they want biweekly. So if it took $300 and it was 4.5 hours, and 2 weeks from now, it's not going to take me 4.5 hours. I've already done the initial deep clean. It'll probably take me half of that amount. Now I can go in and just do a routine upkeep every 2 weeks, and it will not take me what it took for the initial deep clean, but I still want to profit off of it. I still have bills to pay. They're seeing the value that I can give to them. When you're providing good service, exceptional service, I show up on time. I send text message reminders the week before, several days before. I bring all my supplies except the vacuum. I use their vacuum and their toilet brushes. I require that each house has their own toilet brush in each bathroom. I'm reliable. I'm trustworthy. I walk their dogs, or I let them out in the backyard and I keep an eye on them. Little things like that. I wash the dishes, no extra charge. Those little things will keep your client happy and keep them coming. It will build a trust with them. You'll build a rapport, and they'll think to themselves, why am I going to hire somebody at $20 an hour who's probably going to be here for 5-6 hours just so they can make $100? If I'm paying somebody $100, she can knock it out in much sooner time, because nobody wants somebody in their house for 5, 6, 7 hours. That's just a long time, especially if it's a routine cleaning. And they know what they're getting. It's a flat rate, $80. Okay, here you go, $80. Here's an extra tip, $80. Okay, here you go, boom. This day I may stay an hour and a half. The next day I may stay 2 hours because I had to make 3 beds. And the next cleaning, it may be an hour and 45. And the next cleaning, it may be a little over 2 hours because, I don't know, I washed a whole bunch of dishes. But it's still $80 each time. I look at the flat rate the way a salary employee has their paycheck. If you're salary, not hourly, if you're a salary employee, you sign your contract or however, and you make $80,000 for the year. Doesn't matter if you work 3 hours today or 8 hours today. You still have your yearly salary, which is broken down monthly or biweekly, however you get your paycheck. But it's still there. Your boss isn't going to say you only worked 4 hours today and yesterday you worked 6, but you still got the job done because you're a salary employee. You can come in on your day off. You can work late at night. You can work from home. You can come in on a holiday. Your salary. So as long as you get your job done, you're still going to have your salary, which is $80,000. Same scenario with a flat rate. $80, whether it's an hour and a half, or if I happen to be there for 2 hours, it's still going to be $80. I've never run into a situation where a usual hour and a half, 2 hour has turned into 5 hours, because again, I'm going every 2 weeks. So when you're an hourly employee, you need to work your 8 hours, or you want to work an extra hour over to make overtime, or you want to work an extra 2 or 3 or a double shift so you can make extra money because you're hourly. So you're not milking the clock, but you want to work, you want to extend those hours. When it comes to being in someone's home, I don't really want you there for longer than what you need to be. I just find that, to me, flat rate is the most convenient way to quote. It allows the client to know upfront, here, this is what your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly rate's going to be regardless. I can do little extras and not worry about, but I'm going to charge them $3 per curtain, or $3 per window, and $4 per dish, and $6. I know some cleaning businesses do that, and if that works for them, great, but I just don't see the purpose in that. I look at making my clients' life easier. And if it's easier for them to just pay me the amount that I tell them, $100, and that's it, then that's going to work for me, because it's easier for me. It's easier for them. If I make it easier for them, they're going to be happy, and that's going to make me happy. If it becomes complicated where it's like, well, it's $25 an hour, but I was there for an hour and a half. Let me figure out, now I was there for an hour and 45. Let me recalculate that. I just don't. Keep it simple. You need to keep it simple. In my opinion, this is just the best way that I have found to quote homes. You want to be able to profit As much as I love my job and helping people, I have expenses. I have bills to pay. I'm doing this because I love what I do, but I have a family to feed. This is my job. I'm going to give you value and you're going to pay me for it. That's how you have to look at it. Rarely have I gotten anyone who has said those prices are too crazy. I have had them in the past, and when somebody says those prices are too high, I say, okay, no problem. Have a nice day. I am not going to haggle. I'm not in a yard sale trying to sell something for $4 and then I'll take $2 because I just want to get rid of it. Cleaning is backbreaking work. It's physically and mentally exhausting. I have to take time out of my life to schedule clients, pay taxes, get licensing, insurance, buy supplies, expenses, laundry detergent. There's a whole laundry list of stuff that I need to take care of every day to run a successful cleaning business. So my time is money too. My time is valuable. So I'm providing value to my client, which in turn they will pay me for. That's how you have to look at any business, really, in any business. So just because it's a cleaning business, don't let anyone try to diminish what you do or make it sound like, oh, all you do is dust. Because if it was that easy, the client would just do it themselves. Not every client wants to clean. Not every client has time to clean. They have busy lives too. They have jobs, they have families, they have kids. Some clients are taking care of elderly family members or sick family members. Some clients are just physically not able to clean due to a mental condition or a physical condition or illness. So cleaning is not just a necessity. It's a luxury as well. Absolutely. But it's a necessity to many. I also clean commercial properties. So they need their buildings disinfected and cleaned as well. So you have to handle quoting as a business. And you're not there to haggle with the client and tell them, well, the best I can do is this. Well, can you take $50 off? Can you take $100 off? Well, you got to stop that right in the, this is my estimate. It's an estimate. It could be $250, it could be $320, it could be anywhere in between. It's an estimate. And I've had clients say, oh, okay, well, I just wanted to have an idea of what the exact amount would be. And I've told them, once I get there and see what I need to do, see how long I'll be, then I'll be able to provide you a better idea. But right now, this is my estimate. And they're totally fine with that because, again, I'm not lying to them. I'm giving them a ballpark. And then we'll go from there once I get there and see what needs to be done. So that to me is how I prefer to do flat rates. And so far, in almost 7 years of being in business, it's been working very well for me. I've helped lots of other cleaners with these suggestions. And so far, they say it's been working great for them too. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, let me know and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.